The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday, baby. It's Friday. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You know, a lot of times I'll say, thank God it's Monday, you know. But Friday's pretty special. I'm very excited about this weekend. I'm going to get out into nature. I'm going to hike a mountain tomorrow. There's a little mountain called Sugarloaf Mountain near Washington, D.C. area up north. And I'm going to go hike Sugarloaf Mountain. And then a Sunday morning, I think I might ride my bike down to Mount Vernon just for, bleeps and giggles and all of that stuff. So anyway, welcome to the show. I've been on this keto diet for 3 weeks. Okay. Normally, I do not do these nonsense diets. I've been through a million of them. My God, more than half of my life, I've been on some sort of diet. I remember years ago, I was shopping with my wife, and we were putting stuff on this is the last time she shopped for groceries, which was like right in the beginning of our relationship. And we were putting all the, and it's fat-free this and diet that and fried things. And then I look, and the dog food is diet. We had a dog food diet. I'm like, what are you thinking here? And then they used to have this thing, it was called fat-free cheese. It was a fat-free Parmesan or mozzarella, and you put it on a pizza, and it was fat-free. And it tasted like you baked shoelaces onto your pizza. And it was at that moment that I said, life is too short for fake cheese. And so, but the problem is we eat too much sugar. We eat too much processed food. And listen, carbs are great. And listen, life is too short to not eat bread. Life is too short to not occasionally have pasta. But, you can't do it every single day because it gets converted into sugar. And I've learned in the last couple of months that cancer loves sugar more than your ex-girlfriend. I mean, honestly, it does. It really, cancer just loves sugar. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to tell you what. I have been struggling. Last year, I said I'm going to lose weight in time to go down to the apartment swimming pool and look thin and all that. Didn't happen. This year, I was going to do the same thing. Didn't happen until the last 3 weeks. And it's like, whoa! Stomach is deflated, feeling really good. There are a lot of good alternatives to the pasta and everything. But I'm going to do a cheat day. Hell yeah, I'm going to do a cheat day. There's a Giordano's Pizza, Chicago deep dish pizza joint just opened in Washington, D.C. These people don't know of Chicago deep dish pizza. And I'm going to have me a slice. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend or next weekend, but I'm going to enjoy that. So hope you had a good week. I hope you had a good week. We've got a lot of stuff. Unusual suspects, as always. We got Tony Kinnett and Mary Walter and Christian Toto on the show today. We've got a trade war. We got a trade war with Canada, and I got this is my official Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada theme song. Right, I'll just go ahead and introduce it. Here it is. I'm doing this because he's a cat owner. And he's okay. Meow, meow. There you go. Here's Mark Carney talking tough yesterday. He's Canada's, and listen, I love Canada. I love Canadians. I love rugged Canadians. Not too crazy about the Property Brothers because they're not a realtor and they're not a home remodeler. They don't do. They're models. That's just what you need to know. But I like me some Canadians. Canadians are generally rugged individuals. If you exclude Quebec and Vancouver, they're kind of lighting their loafers out there. But anyway, might as well take the offensive to a new level here. But I love Canada. It's just the problem with Canada is it's run by idiots. And they keep putting these morons in charge. They had Justin Trudeau. He's Katy Perry's girlfriend. And now they got Mark Carney. And here's old Mark Carney. He's talking tough, Mark Carney. Mark Carney. Talking tough, yeah.
The new U.S. tariffs are designed to hurt us and divide us.
No, you guys were doing that. You're working with China and everything, and Donald Trump said, if you're going to do this, then we're gonna smack you back.
They're a miscalculation.
No, they're not.
They're a miscalculation.
No, they're not.
Because Canadians will always take care of each other.
Yeah.
We know we're stronger together.
Yeah.
In the last year and a half,
even though you rely on us to protect yourself from the Soviet Union and other evil despots around the world, you live in the shadow of our protection, and you suckle the teat of our economy.
Canadians have met this moment with resolve, with purpose, with strength.
They steal our football, American football, make it into a lesser league starring people who, can't make it in the NFL. Nothing against them.
Many ways. Vacationing in national parks, buying Canadian products, choosing Canadians, small acts of solidarity, repeated millions of times.
Boo friggity who. Here is Mike Waltz. He is the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, explaining what Canada's all about.
Number one, let's set the stage for what President Trump is not just attempting to do, is doing around the world.
Yeah.
He is determined to reindustrialize the United States.
Yeah, bringing back manufacturing. That's for you Democrats. It means building stuff with your hands.
To restore American manufacturing, to pull our supply chains back onto our shores. Because
using tools, more than just like a lemon zester. Stop it.
As both he has said,
yes.
Secretary Rubio, Secretary Bassett, the entire administration, economic security is absolutely national security. Yeah,
Made in America's. We're going to be proudly being, talking about Made in America again. Remember that? It was kind of a big deal for a while.
Number one. Number two, in the case of Canada, I have spoken with Secretary Bassett, with our great trade rep, Jameson Greer. The deal was basically done, except that then Prime Minister Carney started to realize this was bad politics for him. Yeah. He has run on being the tough guy against Trump.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
Elements of the deal, which was a fair deal.
Being a tough guy. That's hilarious. That's a great line.
On all sides started to leak out, and suddenly he sends in some of his political team on top of the negotiating team and pulls out and starts spinning. One of the pieces of the spin, your point on China, was that we were demanding that Canada not enter into other types of trade agreements. That's
Mark Carney said that Canada was the new world order.
Absolutely not.
Or I should say China.
True. What the team said was, look, if we're going to give you very favorable tariff status, we're going to give you the best deal of any other country that we trade with in the world. You can't then let China take advantage, what they call transshipment, and start dumping their goods into Canada just to dump their goods in the United States, and we're right back where we've been for many, many administrations. So you've got to raise, Canada, your tariffs on China, importantly, like Mexico has done. And I have to tell you what, in contrast to Prime Minister Carney, Scheinbaum down in Mexico has worked well with us, has established a good relationship with the president.
And Mark Carney is anti-Trump. Mark Carney is trying to start something before the midterms because Mark Carney is a globalist. Mark Carney is for opening the borders of all the nations and destroying a Western civilization while the people at the top, the banks and whatnot, get super-duper rich. A little bit more from Mike Waltz.
I do sense, and I'm hearing from a number of the folks in the administration that have been dealing with him, that they do think they can turn the tides on the president in the midterm by holding out on this, but it's also about their domestic politics too. Quebec has provincial elections.
They call it Quebec up there.
Coming. I would be very careful if I were the Prime Minister that he doesn't then come back to even a worse deal after this. President Trump is not going to play politics. He is going to do exactly what I said at the top. He is going to do what's best for our economic security, which is our national security. And rather than kowtowing to China and taking a trip to go see the state of the EU, which apparently the Prime Minister is now going to do, look, from the Arctic all the way down to South America, we have the energy, the critical minerals, the oil, the gas, the food security that we need to be fortress.
We don't need it, honestly. We do not. We don't need to be beef-slapped by the third world or any other part of the world. And in response to all of this, one of the most glorious things yesterday. and I get it. I get Donald Trump. I get Donald Trump. I get why he did this yesterday, and it has got heads exploding across Canada, renaming Lake Ontario.
We're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America.
Lake America!
That's going to take place right now as I sign the order. Do you have anything to say about it, Ben?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to say there?
This is a straightforward but important executive order.
Can we dye the water red, white, and blue?
It directs Secretary Bergen and the Department of Interior to update the Geographic Names Information Service to reflect that the lake once known as Lake Ontario will, from this day forward, be known as Lake America.
Oh, that is just absolutely fantastic. I know why he doesn't. I know why he doesn't, and it drives him nuts. Jim got
Trump is rightfully mad at Canada. Their response was sad. Deal. They did not make a deal. They walked away. Knowing how we feel.
Yeah. Heck with them.
Lake Ontario renamed. We'll call it Lake America. And Mark Carney is to blame.
Yes.
We'll call it Lake America. They were warned. Tariffs we will increase. Trade with them we will cease. They had their chance. They had their chance.
Yeah, we're kind of the boss here in the Northern Hemisphere. That's
Lake Ontario no more.
Nope.
We'll name it Lake America. Carney's rotten to the core. He doesn't like America.
Yeah, he's a globalist.
With Canada, we'll cut all ties.
They need to make Poilievre. If Poilievre becomes the Prime Minister of Canada, then it's going to start kicking butt again. And then we'll have a good relationship. But until this Carney fool, and he's a fool, is out of there, I'm glad that Trump's giving him a little what fur. a little what fur. All right, so we got lots of stuff to get to on the show. A little bit more on this. All sorts of retreat from this Hasan Piker, the Democrat Party trying to separate itself from the Democrat Socialists of America, doing a death spiral into hell. Of course, your calls welcome, 800-922-6680. This is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. M.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
So, a little bit more on Canada and Mark Carney, who's a little soy boy messing around with Donald Trump. So Donald Trump decided just to name one of the Great Lakes Lake America. I just love that. I think it's absolutely hilarious. The premier of Alberta. I think we should name it Fat Alberta. You know, remember that cartoon from when we were growing up, generation? Maybe we should should just call it Fat Alberta from now on. Anyway, she is none too happy about this trade war, and it's really going to hurt Canada.
Although I understand the need to respond strongly to these tariffs, I cannot think of a more disastrous policy decision than cutting off or taxing Alberta's oil to the United States. Doing so would absolutely devastate the Canadian economy. It would not only extinguish the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of Albertans, it would
doesn't matter to Mark Carney.
Economically hobble our friends and neighbors.
He wants to hurt Donald Trump before the midterms.
In other provinces to the east.
Yeah.
If Canada were to put, let's say, a 50% export tariff on the 4 million barrels of oil that we export daily to the
Their oil isn't that good.
United States, the United States would immediately respond with a 50 to 100% export tariff on oil and natural gas that they export to Ontario, along with millions of barrels of diesel fuel and gasoline that Ontario and Quebec import from the Midwest.
From the Midwest.
This would bring the economies of
we refine their crude.
Ontario and Quebec to a grinding halt. Meanwhile, all those refineries in the United States that currently use Alberta's heavy oil would start looking to Venezuela for replacement heavy oil. And reverse the pipelines northward to get it to...
That's right. There are other fish in the sea, ladies and gentlemen. And here she is talking about how the U.S. would be just fine if we continue this, but Canada's the one's going to get hurt.
And unlike Canada, the United States has strategic oil reserves that Canada does not. So although their gasoline prices will increase, they will be able to keep them at relatively manageable prices, just as they have done through the Iran war.
They have.
And without strategic oil reserves, Canada has no way to supply Ontario and Quebec with the oil, natural gas, and fuels that they would need in a timely fashion. The Toronto Stock Exchange would nosedive, along with millions of Canadians' investments, particularly our seniors, and small and medium and large energy companies across Canada would shutter and lay off their employees.
Yeah, but Mark Carney doesn't care because he's a globalist. He is a globalist. He wants to hurt America. He doesn't care about his people, and sooner or later, you don't pick a fight with. I don't even know what the analogy would be. It would be. I don't even know. But you don't mess with the United States of America, with the greatest engine of individual and economic freedom in the history of mankind. And they still, I guess, seem to think because, maybe Joe Biden was in charge, that we're still just going to sit back and take this. And we're not. America is roaring back, despite what the left says. The left is, we're this and that, and Donald Trump's economy is terrible, and and all this. And I see unemployment that was down today. Let me see. Unemployment... report. I believe it was. I haven't had a chance to really look at it today, but it was. The claims were down quite a bit. People are working. Jobs are coming back. Manufacturing is coming back. I thought this kind of interesting, and this is an aside. I was talking to my friend Logan Raddick. He's a reporter here at Newsmax, and he is newly married, and he and his wife are looking for a house. And around here, it's stupid expensive to buy a dang house. The median price, like right in the D.C. area, across the river in Northern Virginia, $740,000. I'm never going to pay $740,000 for a house unless I win the lottery and I pay cash for it. But no. And he's over here looking at 6 and 2/3 interest. Okay, when I lived in Washington D.C. before, I bought a house in 2005. We had an ARM, and our interest rate was 6 3/4, and we thought because we would be able to refi the home that we'd be fine. Well, it turns out the housing bubble imploded because of the federal government giving loans to people, mortgages to people who couldn't afford it. And our house, that at the time was $535,000, which was $50,000 over asking, we got stuck at 6 3/4 for 9 years. Do you know what interest on a $535,000 mortgage is for at 6 3/4? About $33,000 a year. So imagine the interest rates of today if you have a $700,000 mortgage. You got to be making some serious coin if you want to kill any principal at all. Otherwise, you're just paying rent to the bank. And this income needed to afford a median price home has doubled since 2020. Existing home prices have risen 54% since 2020, now stand at 5 times the median income. You remember we used to be able to buy a house for 2.5 times your income? That was it. 2.5 times your income, that's the house you can afford. And this is where we are right now, and you can blame Joe Biden. You can 1,000% blame Joe Biden. He did it. He flooded the border. He loaded the country with illegals. He drove rent prices through the ceiling. He spent money wildly, cheapening the dollar. The price of a median home went from $240,000 to $400-some thousand, and interest rates tripled, and we're still at those interest rates. I got a house when Donald Trump was the president last time. My interest rate was 2.9%. My mortgage payment was $1,000 less in Kansas City than my rent payment for a one-bedroom apartment with a loft in the D.C. area. I know. It's kind of crazy. If you're a Midwesterner, you're like, what the hell are you thinking, Rob? If you're living on the East Coast, you're like, yeah, that's pretty much what it's like. You can still buy a pretty nice house in Kansas City for $250,000, $275,000, $300,000. Not so much around here. Thank you, Joseph Robinette Biden. The one and only, the awesome Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, one of our unusual suspects on Friday, joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter the most. It works, and you can trust it. We hear from people every day whose lives have been changed. We'd like to hear your stories. Pastor Bill strained his back around Christmas 2025, was in tremendous pain. After starting Relief Factor, within a few days, his pain was gone. He had full flexibility. He calls it a miracle and recommends it to anyone dealing with pain. I lift heavy weights when I work out. My elbow was really starting to bother me, and I started Relief Factor, and it's fine now. So if you're ready to believe in miracles, try Relief Factor. Get a 3-week quick start for just $17.76. See why so many people tell us Relief Factor gave them their lives back. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghostbed. You may not remember every time you toss, turn, or wake up hot, but your body does. That's why you wake up tired before the day even starts. That's why I got a Ghostbed, the best bed in the history of mankind. Ghostbed is engineered to help reduce the reasons your sleep gets interrupted. Ghostbed is designed to relieve pressure, help regulate temperature, support your body. Cooling technology built into every mattress and made in the USA. With Ghostbed's 101 night trial, you can try it at home because the real test of a mattress is how you feel in the morning. If you're waking up sore or tired before the day even starts, check out Ghostbed. For a limited time during Ghostbed's Labor Day sale, they're offering my audience an extra 10% off their lowest prices of the season. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. These are the words of Congresswoman Debbie Dingle. If she married Marion Barry, her name would be, say it with me, Debbie Dingleberry.
I'm done. So don't any reporter ask me again about Hasan Piker. It's not what November is about.
And he accused politicians and pundits of trying to make this race about a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with how El-Sayed has handled this uproar?
Look, I'm going to say this to you. I'm tired of people trying to drag me into it. I strongly disagree with many of the things that Hasan Piker has said, from Israel to, quite frankly, if you're a woman who has fought against sexual violence and domestic violence her whole life, what he has said about rape,
he kind of stuck by Graham Plattner a while there,
etc., is simply inexcusable.
I think for a lot of us who, like Hasan Piker is a streamer in California. You would think, if you turn on any media, that this whole campaign is about a streamer in California.
Yeah, they're trying to write it off like no big deal, honestly. But joining me to talk about this and so much more, by the way, looking quite handsome in a jacket and I guess, what is that? It's almost like an eggplant. Is that an eggplant-covered shirt you're wearing there?
I've never described a shirt that I'm wearing as eggplant, but you know what? For you, yes, an eggplant shirt.
I was married for a very long time, watched a lot of HGTV. So, yeah, I'm going to call it. I know. Thank you very much. How are you on this glorious Friday, man?
I am excellent. I love watching all of the same individuals who claimed that I needed to be responsible for every word that came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Now upset because they can't escape Hasan Piker. And I love it. I mean, my goodness, watching Michigan burn down for the Democrats and the Rust Belt entirely is just so well-deserved.
It is remarkable. And I've said, Tony, that this is so beautiful because I say the reason why Donald Trump is president in the 250th anniversary of our birth is providential. It is definitely providential. And what's really funny is it's the 250th anniversary of our birth and the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and the DSA, the anti-Jewish DSA, decides to make their move to take over in America. And as I've said, and I use a racing analogy, they have careened into the wall and are spinning into the infield. What do you think about what us going into the midterms?
I think that so far right now, I'm watching a lot of people get really overconfident and also a lot of like booing and hooing. And so far what I've seen is that this is going to be one of the lowest turnout midterm elections of all time. And it is possibly because no one is inspired at all by anything the Democrats have brought to the table because they haven't brought anything to the table. You're the opposition party. Here's what you do. You say, I don't like what the president and his Congress are doing, so here's what I'm going to do instead. And they forgot the here's what I'm going to do instead part. So instead, you bring the socialists up to say, well, I'm going to give you free healthcare. The free healthcare is going to be for you. I'm not going to tell you how we're going to pay for it, but instead we're going to take the billionaires, we're going to squeeze them, and then we're going to put the child molesters up for Senate election. And that's a wild proposition. Like that's all they've got. So I mean, it's hilarious watching flounder.
Well, they for 10 years, and they've done nothing but hate Donald Trump, and literally the air out of the tires of that. If we saw some of these, we've had a few successful DSA candidates. You had that idiot Nixon in Florida win because the other guy was a moron, and you got Abdul El-Sayed. He survived a late-term Democrat Party abortion, barely. barely. And now we know that 27% of his opponents' voters are going to vote for Mike.
But he's got a plan. If you ask him about any of his policies, he will ask you about your penis. So, I mean, they're just doing swell. I mean,
this guy. This guy, I'm going to see if I can find this soundbite. One of the best soundbites was from Jesse Waters. Here we go. Jesse Waters, and this is a doctor, supposedly. He's about as much a doctor as freaking Jill Biden is a doctor. But this is one of the big. Have her take my tonsils out.
You dodged again. Sex changes for minors. Do you support that?
Look, I remember having great conversations with my conservative friends about right to try legislation.
No, you didn't.
The idea that the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. I just think the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. And if you're a minor,
you want to try on kids?
Now, if you disagree with that, if you disagree that healthcare decisions need to be made by a doctor and their parents and a patient, then we think we agree to disagree. But you want to put government inside.
So Abdul, you're a doctor, right?
Here we go.
Yeah.
I am.
So you think it's okay for a parent to slash his kid's thing-a-ling off? You think that's okay?
I mean, do you really want to have this conversation? Are you circumcised?
Okay. I would assume that when I was a few months old, I've been living a lie because I had a sex change surgery.
Also, just again, I don't care. I'm so tired of this after all this Lindsay Clancy nonsense. This idea that you get to do whatever you want to your children and that's somehow like the parents' right, like medically. No.
Except for let them go outside and play by themselves. Then they have to be reported. It is so utterly ridiculous. And like I said, 27% of his opponents' voters are voting for Mike Rogers. And I look at the DSA as smelling salts for Democrats who actually, and I know they've been very quiet, but Democrats who actually kind of love America and maybe we can break bread with one another. And I think ultimately it's going to cleave the Democrat Party in half just in time for them to lose the midterms. And then Democrats will try to save their own party. I could be wrong. I'm just, maybe I'm a little optimistic here.
I said this at the 2024 election, and I was asked why I wasn't more kind of concerned about the populist crew that was kind of being brought over to the Republican Party from the Rust Belt, like the kind of Bill Clinton 1996 populist party that again brought forward all of those, again, like the union protectionist style trade in the economy. And I said I wasn't bothered by it because what would hollow out the rest of the Democrats would be the kind of put your head down and just trudge on. And that's what you have now is a lot of Democrats who are left in their own party who are just going to sit at home and do nothing. They're not going to just put their head down and go vote. No, they're not.
No. And listen, there's a point where you have to realize that your party has been taken over by absolute darkness. I mean, honestly, there have to be people. I know that there are Democrats who go to church who are not down with a Joseph Mengele-esque child sex change experiments. I know that there are Democrats who go to church or even don't go to church who don't believe that you should be teaching kids about homosexual acts or any kind of sex acts in elementary school in their libraries. They know that's nuts. They know that trying to get rid of the border is nuts. They know that get rid of prisons and police is nuts. They can't even fathom why these idiots want to get rid of the Senate. And so sooner or later, those people, I said that sooner or later, 80% of us believe the country's headed in the wrong direction. 80% of us is going to come together. There are 20% of Democrats who are driving the direction of that party. And I think that there are at least 60% who are not down with it.
This would be the other chunk where we look at what actually is on the table for people who just don't want to go down that road. And the most bizarre thing that I've ever seen is watching the Trump administration deliver what is a pretty moderate agenda. This isn't like the super duper ultra extreme conservative, agenda that I was promised. And whether you say, this, that, or the other, I'm now starting to see a considerable amount of success that are coming out of these executive orders and court decisions, like the post office, for example. I mean, that's been a masterclass.
There's a lot of really good things that are happening, and I think that the second half of the Trump administration is going to be putting a lot of Democrats in jail, and kicking a lot of illegals out of the country, and getting some of these things codified. Let's take a break and come back. The great Tony Kinnett, wearing what I would call an eggplant shirt, joining us on the Rob Carson Show. Back in a couple.
Firm.
But I just love this one. Okay. The president Republicans most admire. It's Donald Trump. This is a historic comparison. A majority of Republicans say, 53% say he is the Republican president they most admire. Yeah. Ronald Reagan, who traditionally has won that much. Donald Trump nearly triples up on this. Reagan at just 18%. And then Abraham Lincoln, who by most historic accounts is the greatest president of all time. But Republicans say that the president that they most admire by, what is this? This is 6-7 times as many. Donald John Trump at 53%, easily crushing Abe Lincoln at 8%. And the Elon poll showed that he was the greatest president as well, Donald.
I feel like this slide might end up on a printout on his desk sometime soon if he hasn't seen it already.
Joe Biden isn't, Nancy Pelosi said he belonged on Mount Rushmore. But that this has to make Democrats' heads explode, knowing that we are not coming apart with regard to the coalition behind Donald Trump.
I don't think so. Oh. But I'll say this. There is a lot of stock that gets put in the kind of Trump administration's like polling numbers and not polling numbers going into this election. And the same crews that are telling me that I need to be looking at all of these oversampled college towns will then do kind of a broad-based Americana poll. By the way, when they reach out to Republicans as opposed to reach out to Democrats, they change the demographic. The crosstabs completely shift. And in the crosstabs for Republicans, it's an average Americana poll. They'll pull from some northeastern kind of old mill towns. They'll pull from, the general East Coast kind of mid-cities, mid-Atlantic range, the Midwest, the South, and then the Sun Belt. That's kind of the Republican national sweep. And that's far better sample when you're looking at a midterm election than when you're looking at some of the over college town sampling in Ann Arbor that said Abdul El-Sayed was going to win by 30 points.
Yeah, and then I saw, more of this nonsense, what was her name? Francesca Hong. She had a 95% chance of winning on Monday before she had her rear end handed to her on Tuesday. 73% of polls in the summer generally favor Democrats incorrectly, generally by about 5 points. It's been going on forever. And they are the polls are meant to dispirit people. They had that the group that said that they gave Francesca Hong the whatever percentage chance of winning. They said the reason why they did that poll was a social experiment to see if the media would pick it up. Bull crap.
It's so bizarre right now. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of hoping that the president and his team stay kind of on focus, because there are some things that are starting to shift in the direction. Now, I really wanted some of these things to be starting to move in this direction by the end of July, but a month later is not terrible. Not terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
one of those things you're talking about, I have a real good feeling right now about the Iran conflict. I think it's going to be coming to an end very soon. And I tell you what, I think it's more of a non-factor because Donald Trump brilliantly has played the world's oil markets, supply, demand, all of this brilliantly. And the price of oil during this conflict has rarely gone over $100 per barrel.
So again, I've said that he needs to, by mid-October, he needs to get everything pretty much nailed down. Now, the Canada thing is annoying. I mean, I know a lot of people have a lot of different takes on this. I'm just annoyed. I'm not here to get out the pearls and start clutching them desperately here. But I'll say that I want kind of a good amount of focus, because I think that Victor Davis Hanson, my mentor and friend, kind of puts it the best. Trump has the opportunity and the pieces here for breaking the midterm curse. He does. He actually has the stuff here.
I do too, brother.
But I need to see some economic, just a little bit more of the oomph, and then it's golden.
I want you to. This is one of the best sound bites of the week.
We're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America.
Lake America. That's
going to take place right now as I sign the order.
I just think this is because I get it. I get Donald Trump. This is a poke. This is a jab. This is because this is the kind of stuff my dad would do to me. And I think it's just masterful, because you got Carney up there going, "Do." His head's got the Yosemite Sam, steam coming off his head. No, I just think it's beautiful. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean he's again, he's trying. I know he's trolling. He's messing with them. It's good stuff. I crack up at that kind of a thing. But at the same time, just a different name than Lake America, just something else. Pick a guy in the region, maybe a general who won a battle in the War of 1812. You know what I'm saying? Really stick it to
maybe Lake Carson. I'm throwing some stuff out there.
That's got some merits. I like it. I'm digging it. I just want I just want a little bit of variety. I mean, a little too much makes it cheesy. You know what I'm saying? But no, I like the trolling. The overreaction to it's been great.
Make Lake Metallica. How about something like that? Something really cool like that. That would be kind of cool. Shocking study shows link between transgender ideology and left-wing violence. Doesn't that just shock the hell out of you?
No way. Mental illness begets mentally unstable actions? No.
Like changing your gender or thinking you can change your gender? What? Really? No.
Next you're going to tell me that people who hear their toaster talking, the toaster's not actually making any noise. It's just they're nuts. Wow.
No.
Shots. Whoa.
Unbelievable. Yes, this is from Rutgers. They say that they're likely found that normalizing transgender beliefs were more likely to be supportive of political violence. Respondents were quizzed about 6 potential targets of political violence for the study: killing Charlie Kirk, killing Donald Trump, killing Brian Thompson, arson of ICE buildings, damaging wealthy people's properties, and violence against police. Yeah. It's all been a psyop. America's children just didn't suddenly decide they wanted to be the opposite gender. I hate to tell you this.
Can I also just take a second here, since we're talking about, political violence, we're talking about violence in general here, and just thank the left, truly, sweetly, thank the left for advocating so strongly for body cameras on officers.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that gift. I'm so glad. Dude, whenever I'm having a bad day, I just scroll through body camera footage, and it's just a treat. Because the racism narrative evaporated in an instant, and then the trans narrative evaporated in an instant, and now we're doing the exact same thing with ICE. It's a treat.
It's more of a treat. I watch it all the time, every single night. When I'm watching YouTube and I'm watching Victor Davis Hanson and you, by the way, I watch you a lot too. You guys are my go-tos. You are my and Key and Peele, by the way. Key and Peele as well.
Fair.
Tony Kinnett, tell everybody where they can watch your glorious podcast and take you on social media.
You can find us on youtube.com/The Daily Signal. As of Monday, tonight, I'm off. I'm going to go play some piano for a wedding rehearsal. So
very nice, very nice. All right, I'll make sure put the tip jar up there. You can do that.
Oh, see, they'll put bread in my jar. Say, what are you doing here? It'll be great.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. What song was he referring to? Piano Man Billy Joel. Man, what are you doing here? La-di-da, la-di-da. La-da-da-da. I'm going to write him real quick, Tony Kinnett. Nice. Billy Joel reference. There you go. Okay. All right. How you doing there, kids? Mega Dittos, autocannon. Lake Zeppelin. Ooh, Lake Freddie Mercury. I kind of like that. Everybody likes Lake Dolly Parton. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Who's watching over here on YouTube? It's Deplorable Dinosaur. Merlin Wizard. Good morning, Rob. We are all praying for your health. And thank you. I'm ready to kick its ass. I'm going to kick its ass. I have no doubt. I had a terrific talk with doctor at Johns Hopkins, and he's confident, and then another doctor, he's confident. So we're gonna get past this, and I'm gonna use it to encourage you, if you're suffering, to share your suffering with us so that we can come together to help you. I mean this. We're a powerful army together. And sometimes when one of us falls, the rest of us got to pick us up, okay? Does that sound like a good idea? I think it sounds like a really good idea. It sounds like a really good idea. All right.
Got to rejoin.
Come on.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How. Tony Kinnett is a blast. You may recall at the very end of that segment, he talked about he's going to be playing the piano at a wedding reception, which is always a good backup as a broadcaster. I mean, you need to be able to do something. There's also Uber Eats, any of those things, selling cars. And he said, I said, you could put a tip jar up there. And he goes, yeah. And he'll put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? What was that a reference to? Anybody? It's most of you are screaming at the radio. Everybody knows it's Piano Man by Billy Joel. Bravo. Mr. Tony Kinnett. That was outstanding. Representative Ocasio-Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, always on camera, has formally renewed her membership of the Democratic Socialists of America because she's an idiot. Yeah, she's a dimwit. She is not a smart human being. You don't believe me? Listen to her talk. It's generally a good sign. Yeah. So she let her membership lapse in 2019, move the organization disclosed amid growing discussion about the New York Congresswoman as a possible 2028 presidential candidate. This woman is so effing stupid that she has decided that she is going to renew her membership, thinking that the DSA has real momentum nationally. Now, we don't take anything for granted. We don't take anything for granted. We are at war. You and I will be, Omaha Beach is the November election. We're going to be there, right? Right? Yes, we are. But she is such a dimwit that she's decided to, in the 250th year of our birth and the 25th anniversary of 9/11, to re-up her membership in the Democrat Socialists of America that believes in no border, no prisons, no police, no Senate. Yeah, it's not going to end well for her, I don't think. Let's take a break and come back. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show on ahead. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
Hold it now. Live from Newsmax Studios in Washington, D.C., the most interesting, informative, and funny show in America, on air and on the wide web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday.
I'm pro stealing from big corporations. We must end the American empire.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
We're a big tent. I may not agree with lots of opinions from some folks who are in DSA, but we're going to need everybody.
You have some of these incumbents who have lost their re-elections in places like New York and Colorado. And what does that say about the party today, do you think?
It says that the party is going to win the Congress.
We need a big tent, and I think people like Piker should be welcome into that.
The Democratic Party is a big tent party. We've always been a big tent party.
I got to tell you, it is remarkable to watch. And you may recall 2024, there was a woman named Kamala Harris, who's a complete moron. And she was named the candidate for president after the Democrat Party had been lying about Joe Biden's obvious cognitive decline. It became so undeniable. And he was going to lose, by the way. There was also polling. He was going to lose. So they chose her. I know, it's fantastic. And what are they doing now? They're doubling down on stupid. We rejected the leftist policy she was leading into, the woke nonsense, and they've decided to literally say, okay, let's do this again, except for let's say no police, no prisons, no Senate, no southern border, and socialized medicine, which we have voted down time and time and time again. And I have faith in the American people that we are going to reject it. And I'm not going to sit here and cower in fear and say, because they're a bunch of little brats. They're about 100,000 members of this stupid little party, and we're going to kick their rear ends up between their shoulders. And I think I'm going to get some agreement from the one and only DeploraBella, ladies and gentlemen, on the Newsmax Highline. How are you on this glorious Friday?
I'm just fine, Rob. I called in about Hasan Piker.
Yes.
The Pied Piper, not of Hamlin, but of Hamas.
Yes.
He's bringing in the rats, not taking them out.
Boom.
This man is a star in the cavalcade of crazies. He epitomizes the convoluted, anti-civilizational view of the Red-Green Alliance.
Of course.
This idiot has 11 million social media followers.
I know.
He just made a trip with Code Pink and the People's Forum to Cuba, where he expands his global influence.
By the way, the Justice Department is investigating that. He was real scared about it for a while, and I hope they denaturalize and deport the SOB. Go ahead.
Absolutely. It's interesting to note that in Japan, Greece, and Denmark, they are making a concerted effort to ban Islamist colonization from the countries. They're dismantling mosques. They're banning burqas. They're closing down Islamic centers.
Yep.
They're doing everything possible.
Did you know that Piker is banned? Did you know that Piker is banned from entering Great Britain? Did you know that?
He should be.
He is. There you go.
Should be.
Yep.
Yeah. It's stunning. This man claims that Hezbollah are militants and Houthis are voices of resistance. He calls Israel genocidal, apartheid, and a supremacist state. But actually, everything he accuses is a projection, because that's what the Islamist groups that he defends are all about. It's disgusting. He recently said that American Jews should be very careful about defending Israel because nothing bad will happen to Israel, but something bad might happen to them. To me, this is an implicit threat.
Yes.
It puts him in league with Goebbels.
Yep.
And he should be sent back to Turkey, where he is related to Cenk Uygur, the head of the Young Turks.
Yep.
And it should be noted that Turkey is one of the hotbeds of the Muslim Brotherhood. The Erdogan is horrific. He helped destroy every last vestige of Kemal Ataturk's secularism and has installed the Muslim Brotherhood with a very anti-Israeli and anti-American viewpoint. He pretends he plays both sides like Pakistan and Qatar. But the reality is when they're against the Judeo-Christian principles that underlie our foundation, they're anti-Western and they're a threat to us.
Yeah, I think that it's funny that the Democrat Party 2 weeks ago, Hasan Piker was glad handing El-Sayed at a pool party. Mm-hmm. He was at all of these AOC rallies, all of this stuff, and now they're trying to make it like, no, this election is not about Hasan Piker. It is too bloody late for that. You have his name tattooed on your forehead, and you are going to wear this going into November. This has killed, I believe, Sayed's candidacy, and I think it has damaged the party greatly.
I hope so, because there's a pattern. It comes from Taqiyya, the Quranic-sanctioned admonition to lie to advance the cause of Islam.
Yes.
And you've got Saeed comes from Egypt. Yep. You've got this guy, Piker, from Turkey. You've got Mamdani from Uganda, all of which had horrible Sharia-defining prohibitions on what it is to be a human being.
Of course.
And how you can look at that and say, oh, this would be a great advantage and asset for America, makes you insane.
Yeah. I want you to hear something real quick, a little montage I put together from this week.
Getting rid of Sharia laws, white supremacy. Can you explain that one?
I don't begrudge you your right to practice your faith as you choose. I don't know why the idea that I could practice my faith as I choose is a problem.
Sharia law, not a winning issue in Michigan. That's the kind of answer. It's not going to go over well there. Abdul knows it. That's why today he put on a yarmulke.
Listen to this.
I'm grateful to have grown up in a community where I got so much exposure and empowerment from the Jewish community. I'm so grateful.
The Jewish pigs, people.
Judaism and the Jewish people are a light unto the world. Incredible contributions to our society, our culture, a beautiful faith that rhymes with so much of my own.
That's borderline demonic. Boy. Nobody believes a damned word of that. And if you do, honestly, get on the train car. I'm not kidding. If you believe that, if you're Jewish, you're cooked. You just stay home and we'll protect you.
Yep. It's insane. When he says, we just want to practice our faith, what he's not telling you is that their faith calls for a transnational, global caliphate in which you will not be free to practice your faith. That's the reality. That's the history of Islam.
Yes.
And in fact, if they want to look at colonizing, that's what Islam did. It's the most blatant example of imperialism because it went from the Arabian Peninsula across Asia, North Africa, the Middle East, into Europe, and now it's colonizing the United States and Western Europe. And it is a threat, whether they use terrorism or stealth jihad of demographics. They are here to take over. Yeah. Don't believe me? Look at the Muslim Brotherhood Project and Hamas Charter.
Well, we have some states have made Muslim Brotherhood, like Florida, a terrorist organization, designated a terrorist organization. The DOJ, the DHS are going after the funders of these organizations. We had that announced by Marco Rubio. I think the second half of the Trump presidency will be spent doing that. But you know what I've said, DeploraBella? Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews are going to come together to save America. You know what's going to happen, girl? Because you know what? We got 500 million guns. And we're better armed intellectually and physically for these idiots who walk around and whip themselves with chains and dance around and, do the call to prayer in the morning. We are not about to let our country become what the DSA and the Islamists wanted to become. We will fight to the death, but we won't do the dying.
Well, I want to repeat some of the things that you have said that give us strength. We have character, common sense, critical thinking, conscience, and courage.
And don't forget, we're incredibly good looking, too. We're just really incredibly good looking. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Well, I'm glad.
We are handsome people. My God, woman, we are handsome people. We are glorious. Are you going to be at Freedom Fest at WCBM? You better, because I'm going to call you up on stage.
When is that going to be?
Coming up next month. Next month. I don't know the exact date, but you better be there.
Send me all the information.
Of course I will.
Make every effort to be there, my love.
You are the absolute best. Make sure to go to DeploraBella on Substack. If you think that she's never for a loss of words, you should see her writing. We'll talk again soon, okay? I'm going to play, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews for you right now, DeploraBella. Here, let me call it up here. That's the official theme song of the Rob Carson Taking Back America show. It's Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews. God bless you, DeploraBella. We'll talk soon.
Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews are Rob Carson's friends.
Yeah, they are.
Better believe that they'll be friends to the end. Willie!
Come on, Willie, sing it, baby.
A new coalition to promote freedom. They're all about liberty.
Gonna kick the DSA's rear end.
The perfect trio to combat the left. And look out for you and me.
Drive these Islamists from our shores.
Mamas, please let your babies grow up to be homeboys.
I'll be a homeboy. Hell yeah.
Hillbillies and Hebrews is who you should raise. You'll receive nothing but absolute praise. Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews are saving this country.
We're saving the country, baby. Come on.
They love this land and they'll give you a hand. We need to give them our thanks.
250 more years right ahead of us. Come on.
Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews are friends to this nation.
We gonna save it.
They've got our back when we're under attack.
Homeboys, Hillbillies, Hebrews. That is Jim Gossett. Genius, Jim Gossett. Go to patreon.com. Jim Gossett Comedy. Help him out. Give him $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever you want to give him. You'll get 2 song parodies every single day. He is the most prolific comedy writer I've ever known in my life, and he's a genius. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Have a rejoin.
Dig it.
Fasten your seatbelt, Deep State. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Make sure to watch my TV show. It's called Rob Carson's What in the World? It's on Newsmax Saturday afternoons at 3, Sunday night at 8:30 following Dr. Michael Savage. It's a half hour now. We're adding a couple of things we're going to be changing. A monologue at the beginning of the TV program. Then we're also going to be hopefully including guests. And then when we move it into the new building, yes, I will have to tear apart this studio and move it to our new building here in downtown Washington, D.C. Hope to expand the program, make it bigger and better and all that stuff. In the meantime, the radio program is growing. We are trying to add affiliate stations around the country. There are, for some reason, some of the large radio companies are reticent to add my program, even though it's different than any other show out there. It incorporates comedy and not just opinion, because opinions are like, you know what? And the last thing talk radio needs is more of that. So that's that. Then we get some other good news. The last few weeks, we found out, according to Apple Podcasts, we were the number 10 political commentary podcast in America, behind such names as Ben Shapiro and Victor Davis Hanson and Glenn Beck. We also found out in another metric this week, we were 16 in that list for news and commentary. And in the news category exclusively, I know this is crazy, top 100, beating NBC Nightly News Podcast and Jen Psaki, and beating Jen Psaki. It's crazy. And then, of course, the TV show. So I know there's a reason why I'm here. I know there's a reason why it's taken me so long to get here. But we have arrived, and you guys are a part of this. You guys are, I think, part of what is an extraordinary moment in broadcasting that we haven't seen in a while, a combination of the digital and the analog that is unprecedented and growing. And it's a great way to connect. That's the most important thing. We're here to connect with one another. I did an appearance this morning on Newsmax. And if you would have told me, a couple of years ago that I would be doing an appearance on a TV show announcing that I have cancer, I would have said you're crazy. But I was on with Tracy Sable this morning, a wonderful person on Newsmax, and I went on to talk about it. And it knocked me down. But man, I'll tell you what, I'm feeling more confident every day, and even more confident in a crystallization of what has taken me, since 1990 to get here. The purpose of this radio program, this TV program, all of this is to bring us together. It's to bring us together. We need to overwhelm the left with joy and faith and patriotism. I'm here to entertain, inform, and motivate people to do good. And I said the reason why I shared my diagnosis was I needed my audience's help. And now I know that my audience is here to help others. And if there's a member of this audience, if you're in the chat group on any of Newsmax social media or my social media, and you need help, I'm not talking about monetary help. I can't do that. But if there's a need in your life, or you're suffering, or you're ill, or something, you can share it with us. And I think that's going to be a really big part of it. I really think it's going to be a very big part of it. I've had many, many people in my life leave me because of my politics. There's no coming back for them. All of my friends were largely liberal. They don't talk to me anymore. A good share of the reason why my divorce happened was political. There's nothing I can do about it. I want her to experience joy for the rest of her life. It was a better decision that we're not together. But we all have scars, right? We all get these scars, and these scars make us who we are, and I think they make us stronger. So there you go. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Just what the heck? You're going to see my appearance on Newsmax on my social media. I posted it at Rob Carson Show. Here's Donald Trump talking about the Democratic Socialists of America.
We have communists. We have a party that's been infiltrated by bad thought, by bad policy. I used to talk about socialism, but this isn't socialism. This is largely communism. This is very dangerous for our country. I'm not saying good guy, bad guy. I'm just saying this is big, big trouble for our country. Likewise, many others. And what's happened is you're seeing Democrats, of which there are fewer and fewer, are forced to vote in a way that they would not vote. And they don't even believe in their vote. But if they don't vote that way, they lose power.
And these politicians, these Democrats, are absolutely willing to go down whatever road this movement takes them. Whether it be anti-Semitism, whether this be, all of the things that they're espousing, overthrowing the government, socializing medicine, getting rid of the border, they're down with it. Your Democrat Party, the leaders of your party are really, really evil, to be quite honest, including Jamie Raskin. Gosh darn it, I did it again. Jamie Rasshole. He says that. Where is that? Jamie Rasshole. I don't even look it up here. I gotta type in Rasshole because I always misspell his name and mispronounce it. It's just an accident. I don't even need to do it. But he's talking about the Democrat Party. They're down with it 100%. Every single one of them. They are prepared to go all the way in on communism, whatever it takes. That is your Democrat Party. If you're a part of that Democrat Party, you should leave that Democrat Party. You should reinvent that Democrat Party. And I think there are going to be enough people to do that we will be able to turn this around. This is Laura. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do Laura Trump. Laura Trump on the insanity of the DSA.
Some of my favorites. Don't forget about Latinx when they tried to make that happen. This is a good one. Justice involved individual, which apparently was a felon, and chest feeding. These are totally ridiculous things. But you pointed out Donald Trump at the beginning of this. The reason that people gravitated to Donald Trump all the way back in 2016 was because of his authenticity, because he was exactly in front of the cameras how he was behind the cameras. And Americans love that. It's why whenever we saw Kamala Harris giving us the crazy accents, it never landed. Why it was so ridiculous to see Tim Walz out trying to hunt, and the Hillary Clinton hot sauce and her purse stunt was so cringe to Americans. The problem now for Democrats, though, is they've opened this window to socialism. So
I know. And it's going to bite them in the butt. They have sold their soul to the devil himself. Mary Walter joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Hey guys, it's Carson. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. It works and you can trust it. We hear from people every day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear their stories. At 80 years old, Richard and Paula were tired of aches and discomfort keeping them awake at night. They decided to try Relief Factor, and now they're sleeping through the night again. Paula said she's so impressed, she wanted everybody to know about it. Used to be when I would sleep on my right side, my hip would hurt. I thought it was the mattress. I started taking Relief Factor. The pain went away. They make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helps you rest without pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. We hope you'll soon be sharing your story with us too. ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. You may not remember every time you toss, turn, or wake up hot, but your body does. That's why you wake up tired before the day even starts. That's why I got a Ghost Bed, the best bed in the history of mankind. Ghost Bed is engineered to help reduce the reasons your sleep gets interrupted. Ghost Bed is designed to relieve pressure, help regulate temperature, support your body. Cooling technology built into every mattress and made in the USA. With Ghost Bed's 101 night trial, you can try it at home because the real test of a mattress is how you feel in the morning. If you're waking up sore or tired before the day even starts, check out Ghost Bed. For a limited time during Ghost Bed's Labor Day sale, they're offering my audience an extra 10% off their lowest prices of the season. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson.
But there's something about Mary that they don't know. Mary. There's just something about Mary.
Mary Walter, back from vacation. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm glorious. That was a beautiful vacation photo that you sent me. I've been looking at this for a week now. You obviously work out. You look great in the swimsuit. I'm kidding. She actually just sent me a picture of the lake.
I did just send you a picture of the lake.
That picture, I swear to God, is that a cell phone picture?
Yeah.
It is a stunning picture. I swear to God, I'm going to get this as a print, if you don't mind.
Well, like I said, what did I write with it? I said, no filter. God is a perfect artist.
I swear, this is it really is. It's beautiful. And where were you on vacation again? New Jersey? There, lake? What? Where? What?
No, we were in upstate New York at Lake George.
Oh, all right, good. I've never been up there. But I hear it's fantastic. I really need to explore the East Coast. I was talking to my friend Logan Raddick here. He's a reporter. He says Cape Cod is kind of cool. Is it overrated, or is it really a cool place to visit at least once in your life?
Yeah, you got it. Well, I've been there. I've been to Cape Cod. I've been to Nantucket. I've been to those places. But try not to go during the tourist season. Yeah. That's the key, is not going during the tourist season, because you're just a number and the locals all hate you. And it's a totally different experience if you go in the off season.
I think so. I'm going to have to do so. I need to get the heck out. So here's something kind of interesting. Baby boomers are smoking more pot and their neighbors are fuming. This is just not a good idea. I'm going to tell you right now. When I quit drinking, somebody offered me some low-dose THC gummies, and they make you forget everything. They're terrible. And smoking weed, I just think it's way overrated, and I really don't think it's good for older people to smoke. What do you think?
Well, I don't. I mean, I have never imbibed. That's just something. I mean, if you sign a federal firearms license, you're not Hunter Biden, so you're not going to get away with it. Yeah. So, and I'm a terrible liar. So actually, it depends. Sometimes I'm a really good liar. Okay, but my Catholic guilt runs into me. So I've never done it. I've never imbibed. I hate the smell of marijuana. The smoke. Hate it. Which is why I can't stand walking in Manhattan, because it stinks. Oh. It's horrific smell. Yeah. But here's the thing. Honestly, if you're in your 80s, does anybody care? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, what are you going to do? Die early? If you're 85 years old, are you going to die early? No, you're not.
Or are you gonna actually make a really kind of mediocre to poor food taste like the best thing you've ever eaten, and try things like, I don't know, peanut butter and Miracle Whip sandwiches. Just crazy stuff. And it makes bad music good and bad movies good too. So there you go.
Right, and that probably makes their aches and pains go away. So you know what? God bless them.
Also, I'll mention this. A lot of the time, say, for instance, if you are suffering cancer and you're going through chemotherapy, it will give you the munchies so you can actually eat some food.
Right, exactly. So I'm a big fan of everything in moderation. Yes. I ain't going to judge you. No. You do you. But if it ruins your life and you wind up in the gutter, twerking on somebody and someone's taking pictures of you for YouTube, then you might have a problem. Yeah. But if everything in moderation, and again, I just think when you hit a certain age, and my grandfather was 90 some odd years old and he was in the hospital, I just wanted to bring him food, and she goes, oh, but he has dietary restrictions. I'm like, he's 95. She goes, I'll bring him whatever you want.
Hell yeah. You know what? They did the opposite with my mother. They wouldn't even let her see her damn dog. I'm like, are you out of your mind? You people are stupid. Did you see this? This Target costume that's being slammed as Jim Crow, because it looks like an old. I guess to some degree, there's this old illustration of Jim Crow, which I've seen it before, but I didn't like. Oh, Jim Crow! I thought it was kind of a minstrel, kind of old racist thing from wherever. And then Target has this costume that kind of, I guess, looks a little like it. And apparently there was an uproar about it. Did you think this was a big deal, or are people just creating a controversy that isn't really there?
Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
Because we had pretty much beaten racism, they have to now make more racism,
I know.
Because it's an entire industry.
Yeah.
You know, Al Sharpton would not have anything to do if it weren't for that. But they should not have put a black kid in it, right?
No.
Right?
Well,
that was the mistake.
Here's the thing. I think that it was probably made in a company in China. They had no clue about it. And then some 20-something young person in merchandising said, this is cute. And they had no freaking clue. I don't think it was malicious. I really don't. Listen, it's better than, self-tucking swimwear for boys who want to pretend they're girls.
Exactly. I listen, when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, well, I can see where some people would be offended by that one. But you would think, I wonder if this is DEI. I can't put white people in anything, right? It's always got to be diverse, and diversity means black people or Hispanic people. Asian and white people need not apply. Had they put a white person in it, it may not have gotten the same reaction. I don't know.
It's kind of crazy that way. Meanwhile, the Al Jolson mammy costume is making a big comeback. How I love you.
You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble for that one.
You know what? Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't get letters from people who are offended. I don't get notes from people who are offended. Very rarely. Because I think that we are beyond that. I think that we can be a little offensive and recognize the importance of being able to offend occasionally. And honestly, if you're offended by that, I mean, wow, you're listening to the wrong show.
Yeah, no, I get it, but people are offended by everything. No one knows how to laugh at themselves anymore. Which, by the way, very quick side note, I think is one of the reasons everybody loved Dolly Parton, because she made fun of herself.
We got to talk about her.
We could laugh at that.
She was something else, wasn't she?
Absolutely. But she was very self-deprecating and sweet and nice, refused to talk politics. And so she never offended anybody, and she always would be the first one to make a joke about herself, her cheap wigs, her, rhinestone clothing, like the whole bit. She always just said what everyone else, her detractors were going to say about her. She beat them to the punch and made a joke out of it.
Yeah, remember,
enjoy that.
Remember her monologue when she took down Dabney Coleman in 9 to 5 and says, "I will make you from a rooster into a hen." Remember that monologue? That was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal monologue. And all of her.
I missed that one.
What? Are you kidding me?
Wait, I can't consume all things Dolly Parton in like a 24-hour span.
Honey, 9 to 5 is a classic movie, and you should know that.
I know. Listen, I am not a man. I saw 9 to 5. I did not take up space in my brain to remember the dialogue of the entire movie. That's a dude thing, not a chick thing.
Well, you probably know that scene in Steel Magnolias where, Sally Field is, you know that.
No, I know Uncle Vinny, some scenes from my cousin Vinny. I know some of those. But I got nothing. I saw Steel Magnolias, but again, women have other things that we need to dedicate brain space to that are important.
Like crap you want your husband to do over the weekend all the time. You got a whole bunch of space for that. Oh, a whole list of stuff we're going to do this weekend.
We're not litigating your marriage again, Rob. I think we're past that.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back. By the way, just Google Mary Walter Radio while you're doing that, while you're taking the break. Mary Walter Radio. We'll be right back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Find that monologue.
FM in Harford County.
So you can tell everybody I'm sleeping. Boss!
That's not it at all.
Oh, and you just love it, don't you? It gives you some sort of cheap thrill, like knocking over pencils and picking up papers.
Now, let's don't get excited.
Get your scummy hands off of me. Look, I've been straight with you from the first day I got here, and I put up with all your pinching and staring and chasing me around the desk because I need this job, but this is the last straw.
All right, now wait. Let's just sit down and...
Look, I got a gun out there in my purse, and up to now I've been forgiven and forgetting because of the way I was brought up, but I'll tell you one thing. If you ever say another word about me or make another indecent proposal, I'm going to get that gun of mine, and I'm going to change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot.
Boom! That was one of the best feminist monologues, really before the sexual harassment revolution, you know, when Clarence Thomas went through all of that, and we have to watch videos now, even though you're working home by yourself. But that is Dolly Parton in a legendary monologue that I told Mary Walter about. Do you remember that monologue now?
Yeah, now I remember it. Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But God bless her. I mean, it's interesting because my daughter, she loves Jolene. Gen Z loves Jolene. I literally, the other day, I was listening to a hip-hop song coming in. You got this homie, and he is literally sampling and singing 9 to 5.
Wait, did you see Snoop Dogg did a whole thing, like he was outside with his band or the guys, whatever, and they played 9 to 5 and got the whole crowd to sing along.
Well, you know, Snoop, oddly enough, he's doing some country music, and it's actually really good. It's really good. There's a cross-cultural thing going there. There's a lot of similarities between, oddly enough, hip-hop and, for instance, bluegrass. You don't know that, but it is. I've been studying it. I listen to a lot of music. By the way, I just posted the vacation photo that you sent me on both my Twitter and my Facebook feed, because it is, honestly. You might even want to make it into a screensaver. We'll have to give you some royalties for that, maybe.
I was going to say, you just posted the picture I sent you privately, and someone's going to use it and make money off of it. Thank you.
I could take it down, I guess, whatever.
I'm just, you need to put a watermark over it.
All right, maybe I'll do that. I'll do something like that. I'll maybe stand in front of it or something. So, did you hear about this woman child in the state of Oklahoma? She's one of these DSA socialists. Her name is Nikila Jasmine Thomas. Did you see this woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
Yes, I did.
Did you see the video? Here is this video, and this is a metaphor for the children of the DSA. I mean, and they are children. Oh, my God. This is real.
Mark Wayne Mullen is a terrible senator. Do not vote for him. He is a Christian nationalist.
Christian nationalist.
Mediocre white man.
My God, I can't. I want these children to be spanked in November. I mean, we've been waiting for a decade now to spank these children, Mary. This is just, not surprising. All of these DSA people, they have no life experience. They're failed in life. They owe hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt. They have, a worthless degree, and they want to overturn the country because of it and make it into something that it's not, and that is some sort of socialist utopia, which has always failed.
Now, do you know what she was doing there, what she was recreating there? She was recreating a scene from a movie. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. So you know the movie?
I think it was Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, it was Mean Girls. But listen, you know what, though? We laugh. We laugh at them at our own peril. Yeah. Because the under 30 crowd loves that AOC owes on her student loan because it makes her relatable. She's drowning in student debt just like I am.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have faith.
At our own peril.
I realize that, and I think all of us do realize that. But I'll tell you also that all of us adults aren't about to live under their nonsense. I'm just saying they were not going to live under their nonsense. Here's something kind of interesting. Go ahead.
Wait. Very quickly, then people better get off their butts and vote in the midterms. Because Republicans don't vote in the midterms. So then, afterwards...
You say that.
No, I couldn't get the vote because I had to. Get your butt out and vote.
Of course we're going to. Of course we are. We're, this is a war. It is. A new report from the Family Institute for Family Studies reveals a clear and growing ideological divide in American fertility rates, which means conservatives averaging significantly more children than liberals. Liberals are breeding themselves out of existence. Yay!
Well, that's good.
Unfortunately, Islamists are breeding like bunnies.
Well, I was just going to say, that's exactly what I was just going to say.
Yes.
Conservatives are starting to have babies, which is fantastic, and the pendulum always swings, doesn't it?
Yes.
The pendulum always goes one way. So we had a dearth, people weren't having babies, or if they were having one instead of, replacement of at least 3, which I have to say, if you're going to have 3, do 4, because 3 is a terrible number.
Yeah, I know, it is.
The world's not made for 5. So that's a good thing. I think that's great, and they are breeding themselves out of existence. But to your point, we have to be careful, because Islamists will tell you, we're having babies, you're not. So we're going to run this place.
Yeah.
They will flat out tell you that, and that's part of the problem.
I want to hear, this is kind of funny, Democrats are always saying they're going to make Puerto Rico into a state. And there's because they want 2 more senators from Democrat senators. Fox News went down to Puerto Rico to see how they feel about it.
There's a lot of controversy with that, especially the president right now. We don't want to be a part of that for sure.
I don't think it should be a state because, the main reason is I don't want them to do PR how they did with Hawaii. I don't want taxes to spike. People, wages here are really low to maintain life here.
It's better right now. No, I don't think. I live outside. I know everything there.
Yeah, before you just decide to tell Puerto Ricans you're going to make their country into a state, you might want to ask them first. Not terribly popular. It's like Canada. Everybody, liberals say they're going to move to Canada. They don't ask Canadians, and Canadians generally say, nah, stay there.
Care whether Puerto Ricans want to be made a state or not?
Yeah, no, they don't. Maybe they don't want to be a state. Did you ever think about that? Maybe they like their national sovereignty, and they don't want to contribute to Democrat senators to the madness that has infected the Democrat Party. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Why would they want to be? Why would they want to be a state? Right? Because they get the benefit. Part of America without the responsibilities and the taxes and all that stuff, the other stuff that goes along with it.
That is true. So
they've got it sweet right now. Why would they want to be part of the
100%. All right, Mary Walter, tell everybody where they can find your glorious presence online.
On Tuesdays, YouTube, Getter, and Rumble, 7:15 is the podcast. Look for Mary Walter Radio. Audio is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. And I'm all over Newsmax, so I'll see you there.
All right, I'll try to put a watermark on your vacation photo, okay?
I'm done with vacations now. I'm done.
All right. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. You got to see the video or the picture. Maybe I should watermark it. I didn't think about it. Well, I'm very, very selfish of me. Very selfish of me. Let me see if it's up. It is up. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You guys want to see it, you streamers? I'll show you. Hold on. You ready? Look at that. Isn't that cool? Right? Those are natural colors. That's just a sunset. I mean, look at the colors in there. Look at the colors in there. You're going to sleep. You're getting very relaxed. All right, who's watching? Wild Bill West. Mamas don't let your babies grow up to be hip-hop singers. Now, listen, there's a thing called Gangsta Grass, and it's actually really good. And Snoop has got a real good country song. Here, I'll find it for you. It's a really cool vibe, and I think the cross-cultural thing is a great thing. Snoop country. It's called Getting Gone. Here it is. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Do you want to go to? It's a great song. All right, here we go. Time to talk.
Yeah, about 2.5 years.
Dig it. It is the Rob Carson Show. Always fun to have Mary Walter on. I guess I should have watermarked that photo. It's a really pretty photo. I didn't think twice about it. There aren't issues. But I just showed it to the streaming audience. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that. Next hour, I'm going to talk a little bit about Josh Shapiro. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. A lot of people think he's some sort of a moderate. He's not a moderate. He's left as left can be. And he is trying to attack the Amish community, and he's lying about measles cases. He says that 2 people died of measles, and he's targeting the Amish community because they don't vaccinate. And so it turns out he's lying. He is actually lying about it. And there you go. So we're going to get into that. Also, with regard to the 2026 midterms, Mark Wayne Mullen is doing some things to safeguard and assure that actually the people who are voting are the people who should be voting, which are American citizens. We got that coming. Oh, Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley was approached by a New York Times reporter yesterday. He's 24 years old. And she decided to, because the Nick Shirley Act prevents investigative reporters from exposing fraud because so many California politicians are in on the grift. That's just the way it is. They are getting filthy rich with these NGOs, with this nonsense. This is why homelessness hasn't gotten better, even though they spend billions of dollars on it, because they're stuffing their bank accounts and their pockets with it. And more Democrats are being arrested around the country for such things. I just saw a terrific video by Dr. Stephen Turley about the number of Democrats who are being arrested around the country. And I think that's going to be a good share of the second term of Donald Trump is going to be putting people in jail. Putting people in jail for fraud, maybe for weaponizing the DOJ. Maybe we'll see John Brennan go to the Stony Lonesome. Wouldn't that be nice? Jim Comey, wouldn't that be kind of nice? Be kind of nice. What a Comer? No, which one's the FBI guy? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. 8647. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead on a Friday. Do not go anywhere. now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3 of the show on a Friday. I hope you've enjoyed the show thus far. We've got much to get to before the end of the radio program today. My television show is called Rob Carson's What in the World? And it is on Newsmax on Saturdays at 3 p.m., Sundays at 8:30. Download the Newsmax app and go to Newsmax Plus. Join there. It's awesome. Newsmax Plus membership is nice. I also watch Newsmax on YouTube TV. I like YouTube TV. I watch a lot of stuff. And I like YouTube, too, by the way. I'm on YouTube, for goodness sake. I got a YouTube channel myself. Just look up Rob Carson Show for all of my social media. I just posted my appearance this morning on Newsmax. I was talking about, my cancer diagnosis. And now that the initial shock is over, now that that I've asked you for help, we can turn to helping other people who need it. I was doing, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I am doing traditional therapies. I'm going to be doing some radiation. I've got this. I got this pill that I take every day. It's supposed to kill my testosterone, and it is. I cried watching the Hallmark Channel last night to sleep while eating a tub of Ben & Jerry's by myself. No, that actually didn't happen. But anyway, I'm following also the protocols of a gentleman named William Mackus. I'm not offering medical advice. But it is what he is doing and what he is seeing with regard to success in defeating cancers, even advanced cancers, using the I word, ivermectin. Shh, don't say it. Tony Fauci said you couldn't say ivermectin. You can't say it. You can't say it. But it's being studied at places like Johns Hopkins, along with another drug called mebendazole. It blocks entry of the spike protein into cells. It is an anti-cancer, suppressing the proliferation and metastasis of cancer cells by killing all the cancer cells, preserving healthy cells. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just saying you might want to investigate it. And I got this information from friends. 2 of them have had friends who've lived where they shouldn't have. With regard to not only traditional treatment, but also ivermectin, mebendazole, and a keto diet, and a host of also supplements, curcumin, zinc, vitamin D. Get 20 minutes of sunlight a day. That's another part of it. Berberine. I'd never heard of berberine. And I got to tell you, I feel good. I was a little beat yesterday. I was a little tired yesterday. But I did make it to the gym, and I'm still very strong, still lifting very heavy weights and all that. And so, I think, like I said earlier, my goal is to turn this into a positive for people who need help. And no matter what it is, we are in this together. I told you I brought you to Washington, D.C. with me. You are here with me. You buoy me. I asked you for help. And now, if you need help, don't be afraid to ask us. All right? Sound like a good idea? I think it sounds like a good idea. All right. I don't know why I just did that, but I did. This is pretty ridiculous. I live in Northern Virginia, and I guess Virginia is a sanctuary state because of the idiot governor there, Abigail Scambergler. Fairfax County, Virginia Commonwealth Attorney Steve Descano, who should be tarred and feathered and ridden out of town on a rail, is obstructing a congressional investigation into whether his office gives preferential treatment to illegal alien defendants. Members of the House Judiciary Committee allege. What is it with the Democrat Party and illegal aliens? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Democrats, they're replacing you. It's not about replacing us. It's not about replacing, they always say, white Republicans. No. It's about replacing you. It's about replacing you, Democrats. Yeah, it is. At the start of the year, the House Judiciary Committee opened an investigation into Descano office and whether prosecutors in Fairfax County are offering deals, requesting less prison time, dropping charges against illegal alien defendants preferentially to their American counterparts. And they are. They're doing it all over the damned country. We know it is. Chairman Jim Jordan and Immigration Subcommittee Chairman Tom McClintock sent letters to Descano in January and June of this year requesting documents related to his office policies when handling foreign defendants. In a letter to Descano, Jordan and McClintock allege he is obstructing their investigation by refusing to hand over the documents. And he is. And he is. And he is. Earlier this year, Stephanie Mender just went down to a bus stop not too far from where I live. And she was slaughtered by a 32-year-old illegal alien, Abdul Jallo of Sierra Leone. And he had been in and out of jail a dozen times or more, thanks to this, what's the word I'm looking for? A-hole supreme, Steve Descano. Here's Laura Ingram talking about, because she lives over there, talking about this guy and what he's doing by letting illegals out of jail. And the Democrat Party, they don't care how much damage is done. They're the same party who allowed hundreds of thousands of women and children to be trafficked across the southern border, hundreds of thousands for sex and labor. And they've never said a thing about it.
These are the mugshots of 9 arrested this week in Fairfax County, Virginia, as part of a sexting operation. They were allegedly soliciting sex from minors on the internet. Yeah, that's why they don't want ICE. 3 of these suspects are illegal aliens caught and released by the Obama administration. And get this, the Office of Progressive Fairfax County Commonwealth Attorney Steve Descano released 7 of these 9 on bonds. 7, including all 3 illegal aliens. They're out. Oh, because they're not a flight risk or anything.
No.
Now, Virginia, of course, is a sanctuary state. It's a total disgrace. And it's so bad that ICE has to beg Virginia officials not to release an illegal charged with 20 counts of child pornography-related crimes, including 6 counts of actually producing the material and then distributing it. Don't ever forget that as one of her first acts in office, Governor Spanberger ended the state's cooperation with ICE. That's how important it was for her.
And by the way, she also allowed 67,000 former inmate felons to have the right to vote again. She said it was by a case-by-case basis, but she did it wholesale. She did it on purpose just to allow them to vote without any forethought whatsoever regarding to whatever crimes they'd committed. Because she's a scumbag supreme. She really is. Josh Shapiro in the state of Pennsylvania, he is trying to go after the Amish community because they don't like to vaccinate. And he said that 2 people have died of measles in that state because they refused to vaccinate and they're Amish.
The Department of Health announced the first 2 measles-associated deaths in Pennsylvania in 35 years. Both of the individuals were from Lancaster County, and both were unvaccinated.
The only problem is they didn't die of measles, and that was a lie. Here's RFK Jr.
Trying to get information about those 2 casualties. According to a statement that was released by the Lancaster County Commissioner today, they cannot find any measles deaths in Lancaster County. And they complain that the governor will not give them that information.
Why?
CDC tried to get that information from the governor yesterday, and the state is refusing to cooperate. We're doing a better job than any country in the world at controlling the measles.
We are, actually, yeah.
Since I've been in office, since President Trump's been in office, there's been a 0.1% diminishment. We are actually restoring faith in the public health agency, so people will take our advice. And our advice is that people should get the measles vaccination. There are certain communities and certain religious communities that won't do that, and we want to take care of those kids as well. We've done it every place there's been a measles outbreak. I've sent the CDC in to cooperate with the state health agencies, and we've brought it to an end overnight. The only state that won't cooperate with us is Pennsylvania, and we can't get any information. The press is all covered.
Leave the Amish alone, you jackweed. Honestly, here's Jack Posobiec with his comments on Josh Shapiro and why he would do such a thing.
Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. He's up there, all giddy, hopping around, pulling himself up on his tiptoes to that press conference. See, we got 2 deaths from measles. Big measles outbreak in Pennsylvania and deaths from measles that he's saying are Bobby Kennedy's fault and the Maha agenda's fault and President Trump's fault. And more importantly than all that, the underlying subtext here is that he's blaming the Amish community. Why? Because Lancaster, PA is the largest concentration of the Amish anywhere in America. It's the largest settlement of Amish. The religious freedom of Amish Christians. And of course, Josh Shapiro doesn't care about Amish religious freedom the same way that he sued the Little Sisters of the Poor for trying to force them under Obamacare mandates to have contraception. So Josh Shapiro hates Christians.
And honestly, leave the Amish alone, for God's sake. I have met many of them. They have these little Amish markets. It's kind of interesting. Around here, there's one near where I used to live. And you could tell the difference between the Amish girls and the Mennonite girls, because the Mennonite girls have the Nike high tops and are listening to their, now it's their iPhones with earbuds. And the Amish girls don't. And I'll tell you what, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I'm going to be heading up there in the fall and spending some weekends up there because it is absolutely glorious and beautiful country. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
99.9 FM in Harford County.
Get a rejoin.
We have to beat them electorally, and then we have to break their spirit. And then we're going to crush their soul.
Oh, really? You in what army?
Led Zeppelin, When the Levee Breaks. You know, it's kind of funny. I didn't know this when I was a kid, right? But what Led Zeppelin did was they paid tribute to the great blues guitarists and blues singers of the 1920s and 30s. And a lot of their music might have been forgotten, but do you think some boys from Great Britain sang "Keep on Raining, the Levee's Gonna Break"? You think that happened in England? When the levee breaks, you know, all their songs, they just put a brilliant spin on them. They just put a brilliant spin on blues music and just kept it alive. So anyway, oh yeah, somebody mentioned that they got a name instead of Lake America. Make it Lake Zeppelin. Somebody said Lake Freddie Mercury would be pretty cool. They're Brits though. That's the only problem. They're Brits. Maybe Lake Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's a little long. Lake Clapton. No, he's English too. We need to come up with some Americans. Lake Hulk Hogan. Why the heck not? Let's call it Lake Hogan. Yeah. Tribute to the great man, Hulk Hogan. Here is Elon Musk talking about the homeless industrial complex in California, which is a metaphor for the graft and corruption of NGOs and other nonprofits.
The homeless implies that somebody got a little behind on their mortgage payments, and if they just got a job offer, they'd be back on their feet. But someone who's totally dead inside, shuffling along down the street with a needle dangling out of their leg, you know, taking a dump in the middle of the streets, they're not like one job offer away from getting back on their feet. You know, these sort of charities, they get this money. The money is proportionate to the number of homeless people. Their incentive structure is to maximize the number of drug zombies, not minimize it. That's why they don't arrest the drug dealers. Because if they arrest the drug dealers, the drug zombies leave, and they would stop getting money from the state of California and from all the charities. This is a diabolical scam.
They keep them barely alive. It's really absolutely horrific. I mean, the most horrific thing you could ever imagine. Here is Elon Musk and Joe Rogan talking about the scam.
So then the rebuttal from the Dems is like, oh, well, the vast majority of the people who are marked as live in the Social Security Administration weren't receiving Social Security Administration payments. That is true. What they forgot to mention is they're getting fraudulent payments from every other government program. Yeah. And that's why the Dems were so opposed to turning off, to declaring someone dead who was dead. Because it would stop the entire all the other fraud from happening.
And so, but all this, is it trackable? Like all this other fraud?
Yeah, it's not even hard.
And yet they're opposing chasing it all down.
Yeah, it is a massive cabal. The Democrat Party, as I told you a year or two ago, is the largest crime family in the history of the world. Here he is talking about why Biden gave Social Security numbers to illegals.
There's a strange trend here where how many Social Security numbers were issued? Do you want to?
Yeah. So let me tell you what happened here. We started at the top of the system.
I want to talk about a lot of it.
We started.
This is before the left burned Tesla dealerships because they were being exposed.
At the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was, and there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste, and so that came up with a big list of stuff that we're working on. You've heard some of that already, but this is what jumped out at us. When we saw these numbers, we were like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a...
Yeah, and by the way, and then getting registered to vote by the hundreds of thousands. It happened. It's true. And this is why the Nick Shirley Act passed through the legislature in California, which, by the way, was written by the wife of the Attorney General of the state. And basically it shuts down independent journalists from exposing fraud. So if they go up to a Leering Center and they say, where are the kids? They could be fined $4,000. Nick Shirley was approached by a New York Times reporter, Laura Rosenhall, and he keel hauled her.
They say that has nothing to do with you, that they introduced it
long before you.
Yeah, the California. Oh yeah, we were going to do this before Nick Shirley. No, it was because Nick Shirley did what he did.
Had come to California,
Not
that it's
true.
really not about your work here.
Not true.
Why do you say it's not true?
Because I announced on January 31st I was coming to California. I had already filmed the videos. The word had already gotten out that I filmed inside these immigration support service providers before I published the video.
I did.
Well, they say that it has to do with work, like experiences that immigration service
I
providers.
believe she works for the New York Times. She sounds 12.
Have been
And not just the sound of her voice, just her verbiage.
having for quite a long time, including last year, like that they were not aware of your work when they felt that there was a need for this bill.
Bull crap.
It's a lie, quite frankly.
Bull crap.
And there's already laws out for people that are being doxxed and for people that are being threatened.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for this bill. They're making a protected class by specifically saying immigration support service providers, and then they say included but not limited to, and they list a whole bunch. Yeah. But what does that exactly mean? It's so broad that quite literally anything underneath them could be an immigration support service provider.
The positive is it won't start until October of next year, but it's probably going to go to the Supreme Court and hopefully be defeated.
So imagine a fraudster who knows he's committing fraud. He's like, oh well, now underneath this bill, if I'm committing fraud, I'm just going to go enroll into this program, and therefore when someone comes up to expose my fraud, I can just give them a written paper, a written demand, and they can't publish the video according to the law.
Yeah.
And you think they could easily just fake that they're being facing a threat?
The harassment, it says harassment.
Yeah, they can claim if he posts a video of their fraud that they're getting harassed, and then the video has to be taken down, and Nick Shirley is held responsible for it, even though he's not responsible for it.
On that bill, it says unwelcomed visitation, unreasonable fear.
Okay.
If I go expose a fraudster, are they going to be fearful? Well, of course.
Yeah, they're going to be terrified. You should see that, the show where they pick up the pedophiles. There's going to be a movie about that, by the way. Here's Nick Shirley with a final mic drop.
So you as a journalist, if you go expose a Leering Center, do you know what a Leering Center is?
I watched your videos about that.
Okay, yeah, so if you go expose a Leering Center where there's no kids at the daycare, they receive $1.9 million, and it just opens up a whole entire fraud ring, and then I expose it, a bunch of other people come in and say someone throws, say somebody paintballs the building, right? They cause fear for that building, and then you're responsible for the actions of a third party. But that fraud was real. So how it completely breaks the trust and the amendment of the freedom of press by putting other crimes upon another person for reporting the truth.
Yeah. Meanwhile, politicians can call people like Charlie Kirk a fascist. Then an assassin kills Charlie Kirk, and then the word fascist is written on the shell casing, but they're not held responsible for it. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. It's merely meant to cover up the fraud so the grift keeps going and going and going. Let's take a break and come back. The one and only Christian Toto from HollywoodInToto.com is next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for GhostBed. You may not remember every time you toss, turn, or wake up hot, but your body does. That's why you wake up tired before the day even starts. That's why I got a GhostBed, the best bed in the history of mankind. GhostBed is engineered to help reduce the reasons your sleep gets interrupted. GhostBed is designed to relieve pressure, help regulate temperature, support your body. Cooling technology built into every mattress and made in the USA. With GhostBed's 101 night trial, you can try it at home because the real test of a mattress is how you feel in the morning. If you're waking up sore or tired before the day even starts, check out GhostBed. For a limited time during GhostBed's Labor Day sale, they're offering my audience an extra 10% off their lowest prices of the season. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. Hey guys, it's Carson. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. It works and you can trust it. We hear from people every day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear their stories. At 80 years old, Richard and Paula were tired of aches and discomfort keeping them awake at night. They decided to try Relief Factor, and now they're sleeping through the night again. Paula said she's so impressed, she wanted everybody to know about it. Used to be when I would sleep on my right side, my hip would hurt. I thought it was the mattress. I started taking Relief Factor. The pain went away. They make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helps you rest without pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. We hope you'll soon be sharing your story with us too. ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF.
Hey, Christian, Toto is ready.
Got it.
Well, Mr. President, from one fat pig to another, take it from me that physical fitness is very important. And trust me, you'll be happy to see your again.
That is Jelly Roll. Everybody knows Jelly Roll. I actually, there's a song that he does. It's Hard Fought Hallelujah that I have listened to on many a Sunday morning. It brought me to tears. And his monologue was, I guess, it's okay to make a monologue and make jokes about the president. It's not okay for someone to bed down with the Hollywood left. Awful people, people like Rosie O'Donnell who are, the worst possible people can imagine. And he preaches this line about his life changing and all that. Here to talk about Jelly Roll and others is Christian Toto. HollywoodandToto.com. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Good. Glad to be here.
I want to hear here's a little bit more from. Listen to this. This is one thing you don't want to do as a musical artist. If you do something that is kind of untoward to half or more of your audience.
So for those who threatened to stop listening to my music based on my comments last night, I just want to say with conviction, go right ahead, because I'm going to keep speaking my truth or my name isn't Post Malone.
And the thing is, Christian, about him, there are a lot of people who like his music who are Christians. And maybe like the president too. And I don't think it's necessarily about, sucking up to the president. It's about bedding down with the Hollywood left and the godless people who live there. What do you think?
It's partly that. It's also the tenor of the jokes. Listen,
yes.
Johnny Carson would make fun of everybody. He'd make fun of politicians all day long, but they were never mean or cruel, or you can tell that there was a purpose behind it. The thing with late night TV now is it's always a purposeful comedy, and I use those terms loosely, comedy, but it's mean, and it's cold, and it's not riffing on something. And listen, there's plenty of things you can make fun of Trump about. Jimmy Fallon, who's a very funny guy, does it all the time, and Trump loves him because it's not meant to take him down. And that's what the comedy is now. And listen, if he did a Kimmel-like monologue and he poked fun at Trump, and then he poked fun at AOC, and he poked fun at Hasan Piker, then it's fine. But they don't do that. So it's a very false sense of, oh, I'm just making jokes, I'm just doing the funny stuff. Well, it's not funny, first of all, because you're not that funny to begin with, and the jokes stink. And also, it's one-sided, and it's cruel, and that's what he's talking about. But the really interesting thing is that last night,
yes,
I don't know if you have audio of this one, but he backpedaled. He did this whole, I'm not right or left, I lean this way, I do that, I'm just speaking my truth, my daddy taught me this. Wow. He did a complete backpedal. Listen, I could almost appreciate that. But first of all, own what you did, and don't be dishonest about it. People weren't mad that you told a Trump joke. Trump tells jokes about himself. It was a different kind of humor, for sure, and it was one-sided. And you're on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and you know exactly what those writers are going to do for you. So he tried to say, well, I had a great time with my Antifa communist buddies here. But that's not really riffing or attacking. And by the way, they are communists. So
yeah. I'm trying to find the audio here. I'm going to try this on the fly here real quick. Hold on, skip. Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if I've got it here.
So it also, if you're going to tell your
I don't
fans,
have it. I don't have
hey,
it.
if you don't like my jokes, go listen to someone else. Then the next day say, "Oops, my bad." I mean, it's kind of lame, honestly.
Yeah,
Either be a man and stand up for your dumb comments, or don't say them in the first place.
Well, I'm going to tell you, he has served as an inspiration to a lot of people. I mean, he's an ex-drug dealer, ex-prisoner. His story has been so inspirational to a lot of people. And like I said, you ever heard Hard Fought Hallelujah? Have you ever heard that song?
I haven't. No, I want to hear it.
Christian, I know that you have been through some things, and I'm going through some things. I want you to listen to that live. Him doing Hard Fought Hallelujah, and it is stunning. And it was very disappointing for me that someone like that, who's literally, I mean, he's a pop star, he's a rap country star, whatever you want to call him, and he gets arena shows where people are praising God. And that's a real disappointment because it's not a godly way to be when you're betting. He really showed his colors and his affiliations. It wasn't just jokes. It was reading a teleprompter of mean-spirited jokes and being surrounded by a fluffed audience that absolutely hates Donald Trump. And he bedded down with Hollywood. That's what he did.
And I guess it's alluring. I understand it. I also think that his agent should be fired. I wouldn't take that gig. He doesn't need that gig. He didn't need this headache. Or he could have said, listen, I want more control over my jokes, so I'm going to have my own joke writers. I'm going to bring some balance and actually reflect who I truly am, because those monologues didn't reflect who he truly is. And I think he sang Rosie O'Donnell's praises. I think that was part of his shtick. Like you said, she's a terrible person. I'm sorry. I don't like to say that about celebrities, but I hear her speak enough. She's not a good person. I think she really needs help. So saying she's amazing is weird.
And here's a little bit of her. Listen to her. This wasn't even funny. This was a bit. This is before she introduced him.
Oh, Johnny boy, it's Rosie calling from Hollywood, the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Drop that Big Mac that we all know you're holding, because, my dear, I worry for you so. Why not resign and make this country great again?
It's not. I mean, that's like a first grade level satire. I've been writing comedy for a very long time. That's first grade level satire.
Rob, I thought we were friends. I thought you liked me. Then you made me listen to that stuff. I have to reevaluate our connection here.
But Colbert's replacement, that show, beat Kimmel in the key demo. This is the Byron Allen Comics Unleashed rerun. Beat it. So it's not working.
It's not working. This might be an isolated incident, but that show began. It replaced Colbert. It didn't get nearly the big rating that you wanted, but it's a different revenue model, so that CBS is not losing millions on it. So they were fine with it. But then I saw that item, and wait a minute. It had a good week. It's kind of kicking butt in the demo. That really matters. So I'm going to watch that, see if it's a blip or a trend or what. But I wouldn't be surprised. Why don't I watch a show that's sweet and funny and not cruel before you go to bed? Isn't that the whole point?
Maybe what was it? Wasn't it Real People in the 70s that Byron Allen was? Yes. Maybe we should bring that back. Remember Real People, and that's incredible? I know.
Yeah.
We're showing our Gen X's, cred here. This is pretty crazy. The Spider-Man Brand New Day fought off a slew of oncomers. Spider-Man has reached now $854 million in the United States. And also, oddly enough, even last weekend, The Odyssey still filling theaters. Christopher Nolan's highest grossing movie ever. Wow.
It's a wow. I mean, I knew Spider-Man would do well. I had no idea at the level that it's a good movie, but it's certainly not the fourth or fifth best movie of all time. It's crazy, but it's speaking to people. The Peter Parker character is very relatable. Yeah. Tom Holland's a very good actor in that role. All the things came together, but what I like about it is that people are going back to the movies, and they're doing it a lot. So I hope it lasts. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, we've got more on the other side of the break that I want to talk with Christian Toto about, including movies that are opening up this weekend. Some Dolly Parton news, actually. All of that is coming up on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. got to play this again.
So, you tell everybody I'm sleeping with you, huh?
No.
Well, that explains it. That's why these people treat me like some dime store floozy.
no,
They think I'm screwing the boss.
That's not it at all.
Oh, and you just love it, don't you? It gives you some sort of cheap thrill, like knocking over pencils and picking up
Sure, baby. Now,
labels.
let's don't get excited.
Get your scummy hands off of me. Look, I've been straight with you from the first day I got here, and I put up with all your pinching and staring and chasing me around the desk because I need this job, but this is the last straw.
All right, now wait. Let's just sit down.
Look, I got a gun out there in my purse, and up to now I've been forgiven and forgetting because of the way I was brought up, but I'll tell you one thing. If you ever say another word about me or make another indecent proposal, I'm going to get that gun of mine, and I'm going to change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot.
That is Dolly Parton in 9 to 5, 1980, one of the most iconic monologue moments of her career, which was really, I mean, like, you want to talk about feminism. Do you remember that, Christian? Wasn't that fantastic?
That last line was the kill shot.
I'm going to turn you a rooster and a hen with one shot. That was, and honestly, that was at a time where, I was never... I don't know. I wasn't part of in the 70s, you might have gotten away with that nonsense. I guess as a boss, you could do sexual harassment and all that crap. And it all imploded, when Clarence Thomas was nominated for Supreme Court. And, now we got to watch videos about sexual harassment, even though I work at home. But that was really, that was really an empowering moment and a brilliant delivery on her part.
Well, it not only was, but, in that moment, it could have been seen as a screed or a lecture. And, part of it was, but because it was delivered by Dolly Parton with the love and the sass and the wit and the intelligence and that steel spine, it works. It works.
That movie was so damn good when they did the scene with Snow White kind of and poisoning his coffee. That movie was just a brilliant, brilliant movie.
It was.
Really good movie.
It's Jane Fonda. Got to give her credit. She was good in that.
I know.
No doubt about it.
Now, by the way, she has recorded a secret song that will be locked away until the year 2046. Did you hear about this?
I did. She can't stop making us smile. I don't know. It's just even after she's gone.
In her 2021 memoir, Dolly Parton's song teller, My Life and Lyrics, Dolly revealed she penned a secret song. The track is locked in a box on display at Dollywood's Dream More Resort and Spa in Pigeon Forge. Inside the display are four personal items, including a box made of chestnut wood, crafted by Dolly's uncle, Bill Owens. So, Christian, maybe when our kids are rolling us around in our wheelchair, we can go hear it at Dollywood in 20-plus years.
I can't wait for that weird moment.
Hey, do you remember this? All right, so what's going on in movies this weekend? Buddy turns Barney the dinosaur into a horror movie psychopath. I thought he was that anyway.
Yeah, he feels that way for parents who just can't stand those songs. But this is a movie about another character that's Barney-like that goes on a killing spree. It's a fun, clever idea. There are some yucks here, and it's just so original. I really appreciated that, but it doesn't quite hold together. So if you go, just lower your expectations. It's not a classic. The concept is a goof and it's a hoot, but it just doesn't doesn't really go there the whole way, I guess.
Doesn't really go there.
Have enough laughs. Yeah, sadly.
I gotcha. What was it? A friend of James Rosen recommended a Scorsese movie from 1984. I'll find it here in a second. That I should watch this weekend. I'll look that up real quick. What else is going on here? I see. What is How to Rob a Bank really? Hasan Piker the movie.
Well, I mean, the trailer certainly sounds like it. It's super anti-capitalism. It's coming out in November. Oh gosh, early November, maybe the 13th of November. But so it's not out yet. But I just saw the trailer. I wanted to give people a heads up about it. It's Nicholas Hoult plays a guy who is an influencer and he robs banks, and he's kind of a Robin Hood-esque character. And of course, the trailer makes him into the aw shucks, handsome, charismatic, good guy. And then got John C. Reilly, who's always great. He's playing an FBI agent. He kind of seems like the heavy here. So we'll have to wait and see for the whole movie to unspool. But the trailer really is very heavy-handed and sort of showing that the bad guys are the good guys all of a sudden, and this system is broken, and capitalism is stealing your money, and
I'm so tired of that stupid crap.
I have the same reaction. But I also want to watch the movie and make sure that the movie is that reflection. Maybe they went too far with the trailer. I don't know. I don't want to prejudge the movie, but boy, it doesn't look promising.
It does not look promising. I'm still trying to look up this King of Comedy. King of Comedy. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Because James Rosen was talking about this, because I'm a late night, comedy historian. Johnny Carson was my idol. That's why I use the name Carson. I'll just admit it. My real name is Rob Hitler Bin Laden. We've covered this before. But he told me about King of Comedy, and that's going to be on my must-watch list this weekend. And you say it's that good.
Yeah, it's Rupert Pupkin, I think, is the name of the Robert De Niro character. Jerry Lewis is in it. Sandra Bernhard. It's quite a movie. It has a late night theme to a degree, but I'll say no more. You're gonna love it.
That's what I've heard. And Jerry Lewis plays a pretty serious character, and then De Niro is just this guy who wants to be a late night talk show host. He has like a studio set up in his basement with cardboard cutouts, and he's not funny, so it's perfect for me. I sit in the apartment. By the way, I sit in the apartment by myself every night, talk to myself, and I'm not funny.
As long as you don't answer, you're all set.
Well, I'll just say I do have a cardboard cutout of you, but I'm not going to say where it is.
I'm sure you found it in the discount bin, right?
All right, Christian Toto, where can people find your podcast and your glorious presence online?
Just go to Hollywood Toto, my last name, .com.
All right, I'll be sitting there with my arm around my Christian Toto cutout right next to the gay Ayatollah on the love seat there tonight. Have a great weekend, bud. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Straight.
That was funny. I got to find something to talk about here at the after the break, so give me 1 second, okay? Oh, yeah. I'll do this next. AutoCAD at Robosaurus. What's that all about? So Dolly will be 60 years old when the song is released. No, 100 years old. On her 100th birthday. Lake Dolly, why not? Lake Dolly, why not? I will delete his songs off my playlist. You know, I do like Hard Fought Hallelujah. I'm not unforgiving, you know. He might have stepped in it a little bit. I think his story has inspired a lot of people, and for that I give him a lot of positives. I mean this really. Jelly Roll, he's been an inspiration to a lot of people, probably to a lot of addicts, a lot of people who have been in prison. So, you know, I'm a Christian. I'm willing to forgive. It is just disappointing. Jelly Roll is not a funny comic or equal opportunity offender. He read jokes written by somebody else. I mean, Ralph Lee, nice try, though. He's reading somebody else's jokes. I don't think he would write that stuff. He's not that cruel a person. Come visit us in North Carolina. Live show in Charlotte or Asheville will be great. We will provide the keto-approved smoked barbecue. Hell yeah. Your barbecue is good. Not as good as Kansas City. Lake Nugent. I like that. Here we go.
CBM and 9 FM in Harford County.
420 left.
420? Somebody on the chat line on the YouTube live stream said we should name Lake Ontario Lake Nugent. Oh, hell yes. The Nuge. Could you imagine? Wango Tango Bay? Could you imagine? Cat Scratch Fever Inlet? Huh? I think it'd be pretty cool. Jim Gossett put something together for Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, of course, offending a lot of people, and a lot of people upset at him. So Jim did this for us on the Rob Carson Show.
Jelly Roll will regret it, 'cause folks won't forget it. Trump, he tried to troll. His jokes were a flop, but he didn't stop. That's why we're sick of Jelly Roll. He has crossed the line, he's so asinine, dug himself a hole.
Oh, this is good.
His fans will flee, you're gonna see the bitter end of Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, like Kimmel, he's a Trump hater. His fans will tell him, see you later.
Jelly
Roll. His crowds will disappear. Don't want to hear from Jelly
Roll. There you go.
When his fans desert him, it's gonna hurt him. He'll be hard to console. He'll go down in flames and have himself to blame. I won't feel bad for Jelly Roll. His career, it will be gone before you know it. Fear, Jelly Roll will start to show it. Near, the end is coming soon. We'll say goodbye to Jelly Roll.
Hey, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Jim Gossett comedy. Very, very good. Nice stuff. Just go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. I'm trying to think of what else I can do before the end of the show because, we're not quite done yet. I'll play this. This is kind of interesting. And this is, we're talking about how I think that we are going to have... maybe we haven't reached the point of no return where the country is cleaved in half. Maybe there's a point where we can once again break bread with one another. Mike Rogers put together this new ad. Of course, he's running against Abdul El-Sayed, who is an Islamist and a socialist/communist.
We're going to let our politics become so small. We've let our politics become the thing that if I can make you believe you hate someone else, I can get that someone else's vote. Is that the America we're going to give to the next generations of Americans? We're going to find the one thing that divides us, or even if it doesn't, we'll make it up and let you believe it does. We're going to decide that if you're of this race or of this color, you can't be for that party or this idea.
Tired of that.
I can't think of anything more small and more petty than that. And every time we reach one of those points in our history where we struggle, we get through it because we believe in something bigger than ourselves, and we believe that tomorrow is going to be better than today. And yes, we believe that our best days are still ahead of us.
Amen.
I hope we don't decide that these problems are just too big to handle anymore.
This country's worth fighting for, and the good people of this country who love the country, appreciate the country as founded. We're going to come together. I told you this. 80% of us believe the country was headed the wrong direction. 80% of us will come together to save her, and once again, we'll be able to break bread with one another. I believe that. I've lost a lot of friends, most of my friends, because of politics, and it wasn't on my part. And I just have a feeling that a great, wonderful awakening is happening. It's going to bring us all together around the world. Freedom and patriotism and faith is spreading around the world, I swear. Watch my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, this weekend, if you would, please. In the meantime, God bless you. America's founded, Donald Trump, our military doing a yeoman's job in Iran. And until Monday, do not catch the stupid. Thank you for your prayers. They're coming right back at ya. I love you guys.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.